I'm dying. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to this week's Buzzfeed test. Now, if you don't already follow my Twitter, you may not know that I am deathly ill at this moment. My nose is clogged up like crazy, my whole body's aching, I think I got strep throat or something. But yet here I am, in front of a camera, filming another video. I'm hoping we're gonna be able to power through it this week. You know, if I collapse mid-video, don't be alarmed. Just call 911. But I am probably gonna go to the doctor sooner or later, so don't worry. But anyway, guys, last week when Tasty uploaded their video 4 different ways to bake potato chips, you guys went crazy in the comments asking me to do it. And you have asked, so you shall receive. This week I'm gonna be trying out all 4 different types of chips they make in the video, so let's get started. So before we do anything specific for any of these 4 recipes, we're first going to prepare our potatoes because you pretty much prepare them all the same way. I gave about 10 or 11 russet potatoes a nice wash in the sink, and then with my extremely sharp slicer began to cut slices out of each one. This is, of course, much more effective than the last time I was trying to cut potato chips. And we have a lot more to make this time, so thank you, parents, for buying this. I'm also electing to leave the skin on all of these just because it's a little less work and I really don't mind. I don't think it makes that much of a difference, but you guys can do whatever you like. Now I just took all of the potatoes I cut and equally divided them into 4 different bowls. Now is the point where... I'm alright. Now is the point where all of them get a little bit different. And the first of 4 recipes that we're going to be trying are the barbecue flavored chips. So with your first batch, start with 1 tablespoon of oil and mix that around till all the potatoes get a nice coating. Now you're going to need an absolute crap load of spices. You're going to start with 1 tablespoon of paprika, 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of pepper, and 1 tablespoon of salt. That was a mouthful. Now when I started mixing all of these up, I immediately noticed that the salt in the rub started to suck out a lot of the moisture out of these potatoes, which I don't really know if that's a good thing or not, but I basically just drained it and kept on going. Once every single one of your chips is coated in your spices, you're gonna grab a cookie sheet, throw down a little bit of oil, and then cover the entire tray with your chips. I did get a ton of chips on here. I did have some left over as well though, and I just saved them in the fridge to cook a little bit later. Now they just need to go in a 350-degree oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. In Tasty's video they said 30 to 35 because I think their chips were cut a little bit thicker. Nevertheless, when they brown up and look like this, they're pretty much done. Some of these are just a tad overcooked, if I must say, but they should still have good flavor, so we will see. Alright. Whoa. Oh, these freaking things are saltier than Vine when everyone stopped using their app. If you want to make those, I highly suggest you cut way back on the salt. Honestly, you might not even need it at all because there's so many other things in there. But I do think they would have really good flavor without it if it wasn't so overpowering, so I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. Now next up is something I'm very excited for, which are these cheddar chips. Again, I took another batch of chips and threw down a tablespoon of oil and mixed them around. I grabbed my box of Cheez-Its, threw 2 cups of them in a bag and mashed them all up. Once I thought I had them crushed finely enough, I threw them over top of the chips along with some salt. And right away, when I tried to mix them, I realized that this was not going to work. There was little to no cracker crumbs sticking to the chips at all. I think they were all just too big. So instead, I took them all back out. I grabbed some new fresh Cheez-Its and blended them down really finely. And once I poured them back over the chips, they looked 100 times better. Again, you just want to lay them all out on a greased cookie sheet. There is no way I'm going to clean this between every single batch of chips because I am way too lazy. And finish them off in the 350-degree oven for another 20 minutes. These were even more simple than the last ones, and I'm expecting them to taste a whole lot better. Behold the cheddar chips. I made a couple extra off camera just because I had a whole bunch left over. That's why it seems like there's more than there was. I kind of get the feeling from these that this is one of those recipes that looks really good, like you really want to try it, and then it just turns out not to be worth it at all. I don't know, they're not bad, they're just like super hard and bland. You really don't get any cheese flavor at all, and they're just really like tough to chew through. Honestly, I kind of recommend that you don't even waste your time with those, because I'm going to give them like a 3 out of 10. For our third batch of chips, we're gonna be making some salt and vinegar, which I really like normally, so I'm hoping these come out decent. You wanna start with enough white vinegar to basically cover the top of your chips and let them soak for a half hour. Just make sure to stir the chips up occasionally, and after the 30 minutes, drain out all the vinegar. Now, just some salt and some pepper, mix them in, and by now you guys know the drill. I grabbed the cookie tray once again, spread all the chips out over it. Again, I refuse to clean this thing 4 times, and into the oven they went to finish up. Now, out of all 3 of the chips I've made so far, these ones definitely look the most similar to Buzzfeed's, so I'm hoping they're gonna taste just as good as well. Before tasting them, they definitely smell exactly like normal salt and vinegar chips that you would buy from the store, which is a good sign. So, am I like doing something wrong here? Now that I finally got the texture of the chips perfect, they taste so weird. They taste fishy. Like they have a fishy aftertaste. They kind of remind me of like frozen fish sticks. Not the ones Kanye likes. These ones are gonna have to get a 4 out of 10. Is it possible that my sickness is causing all of these to taste like garbage? Very possible. Either way, we have our 4th and final chip to make, which are these Cool Ranch chips. Once again, you're gonna start with the last batch of your chips, load them up with a little bit of oil, then a packet of ranch dressing mix, some chives, and some salt and pepper. This time, I cut way back on the salt. Mix all the chips up until you can't see any of the ranch mix and it all dissolves on the chips. And for the last time of the day, load them all onto your cookie tray. I don't think I've mentioned this yet, but I really respect the fact that Buzzfeed has finally baked something that's normally fried, just because they fry a ton of stuff to begin with. So this is a nice switch up, even though they haven't really tasted the best. I don't know, I'm trying to find positives out of something in this video. The last ones. If there is a God, these will taste edible. Okay. Finally. They're perfectly thin and crunchy like a chip. Again, the flavor is a tad on the super overbearing strong side, but not too bad compared to these. Absolutely no doubt, the best one out of the 4. I would make them again, just tweak it a little bit, but overall they're gonna get a 7 out of 10. Hope you guys enjoyed today's sick version of a Buzzfeed test. All I know is I cannot wait to go lay under a blanket for the rest of the day and drink more tea than Chris MD has in his entire lifespan. If you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, the links are down in the description. Let me know of any other recipes that I have not tried that you want me to try. And other than that, have an awesome rest of your week. I'll see you right back here for the next video. Hopefully I'm not deathly ill and wanting to pass out mid voiceover. Peace.